What's up, guys? We're back in the dining room. It's your boy, Racy Boy. Happy Thursday, guys. I'm okay. I'm okay today. We got my little tea. Let's say grace, dear God. Bless this food and bless this day. And pray that my appointment goes really fast. And pray that you protect everyone that I care about. And pray that you just open doors for me and just help me to feel better about myself and the situations that I made in life. And pray that you just protect the world, and pray for the people in India, and pray for the people in Israel. Just pray for all that stuff that's going on in Israel. I know that's going to be scary to the people and to the kids and to the families and all that different stuff. But, you know, when you said when it's peace there, that means you're coming back. So it is what it is. But I love you and thank you and bless this food. In Jesus' name, amen. In the hands that made this food. Well, basically, I made the food, but the people who made it before me, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I love you. Bye. Okay, that was a weird prayer. But guys, we are having Eggo My Eggos. Does that make sense? Yeah, like the commercial says, Eggo My Eggos. So I have not had a waffle in a long. Like it's been like 5 or 6 years. Like I don't eat waffles that much because one, they're very sticky and I don't like sticky stuff. And the reason why we're back in the living room is my mom's outside doing gardening. I got to watch my grandpa. That's like the deal that I made with my mom, my dad and my aunt. And we've been doing this for like since 2013. I mean, I have a little stories to tell you guys, but there was something else I was supposed to talk to you guys about. What else was I supposed to talk to you guys about? There was some story I was supposed to tell you guys. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I remember what I was supposed to tell you guys, okay? So what I do with my waffles, I put them on top of each other. I mean, you see how that oil, that syrup was coming off of it? You see that? That's so weird. Okay, so what I do is I double them like this, and then I like to cut them into little squares, almost like a little kid. Cut them into triangle shapes like, you know, like pizza. And then I just eat them like this, like so. And these are blueberry. Fun fact, when we lived on the farm, guys, I'm still looking for that football picture. I know people have been asking about it. I'm still looking for those football pictures. Okay, me and my mom were supposed to go through pictures before, but we're going to go through them again. But I've been looking for them. I will try to find one, guys, because I think I have a soccer picture, baseball picture, and a football picture. Yeah, I pretty much played the whole time I was in high school. But anyways, ever since I was like in Pee Wee football, when I was a little kid, like 5 or 6 years old. I mean, I've been in sports. Some family members might say, no, he never finished a sport. That's a lie, because I finished all sports. Just because I stopped inviting you to the games doesn't mean that I didn't finish the sports. It's just I didn't want to hear your criticism. That's why I was like, bye. Bye, Felicia. But anyways, I remember what I was supposed to talk to you guys about today's video was when I went to the Britney Spears concert. Okay, so how old was I? I had to be like, oh God. So we moved here when I was 15. So I had to be like 14, 13. So my best friend at the time, I mean, I guess technically we still are best friends, but anyway, her mom worked at the ticket counter at our main event center that was in Ohio at the time, right? And she would get awesome concert tickets because the people loved her there. She like basically was the manager, but her hours were like crazy because she would like go in at like 6 in the afternoon and not come home until like 6 the next morning because she had to like count all the money, do the tickets, be there when the big superstars came through, made sure the people were like escorted to the right rooms and security was good. And there was a place for them to like walk out afterwards and not be, you know, harassed by fans or paparazzi or whatever. So she had to do all that stuff. And so my best friend at the time, she would go to a lot of concerts. Actually, we're not even best friends. We haven't even seen each other in years. So anyways, she'd go to a lot of concerts. And we met when I went to this Christian school that I went to called Dayton Christian, where, you know, I hated the school. I hated it with a passion. It was not a Christian school. They used that name, but it was not a Christian school. They could beat kids. They were rude to kids. The kids were getting in fights. Kids were doing a lot of bad stuff. Thank God I left that school. I hated that school. I will never put my child in no Christian school. I'm sorry, I won't. or any boarding school. Not happening. Because there's stuff that happens that parents don't even know. But anyways, that's a different story for a different topic. Let me know below if you guys want me to get into my experience in a private Christian school, because I can go in deep. And I have a right to, because it's my story. Anyways, and none of them were watching YouTube. I don't even know if the school's open. But anyways. So my birthday was coming up, June 26th. It's coming up again in a month. I'll be 32 years old. And her birthday was coming up, and her birthday was like June 22nd. So we were like, what do we want to do for our birthdays? Because they were close together, and we were never in school. So we were like, because we were in summer break. So we're like, what do we want to do for our birthdays? And she was like, I don't know. Let me see if my mom can get us some tickets to go see a concert or something. So she's like, okay, cool. So I will never forget this as long as I live. So the week came of our birthday. Her birthday came first. So we went to this place called Stacy's that was like this big buffet restaurant thing. And we went there to eat because her grandparents were there. Her grandparents were awesome. They were like my adopted grandparents because I didn't have good grandparents, except my grandma. So they took us to go to CC's to go eat buffet because they knew that we liked to eat at the time. But I was really skinny still because I just knew how to carry it. So we went there, we ate, and then they gave us some money and whatever, and some clothes and different stuff like that. My parents came, my brother came, my sisters came, some other people came. And then that Saturday, there was a big concert, but we didn't know what it was. And so we weren't allowed to like turn on the radio. We weren't allowed to watch TV or nothing like that because that was our big surprise. So we were like, who do you think it is? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking it's going to be like Beyonce, or it's going to be like, whoever that I like at that time that was out at that time. I thought it was Destiny's Child because they were still together, and they just came the week before, and I thought they like were still here in Ohio. And they blindfold us, they take us, we hear all this screaming and all this yelling, and we're like, what the heck is going on? Where are we? I'm like, they better not have took us to some boxing match. I'd be so mad. And then we get there, and it's like really, really, really cool. Good morning. I checked on him, he's sleeping. And then, what happened? And then they took off the blindfolds, and there she is, and I'm like, oh my God, this is Britney Spears. Oh my God. She did all her songs that were like amazing. And this was like before all the crazy stuff, like way before all the crazy stuff. I forget what tour it was that year. I don't even remember. And that might have been 2002. No, 3, 4. It might have been 4 or 3. It might have been 4. Yeah, because I was 14 in 2004. Yeah. But it was so much fun. We had so much fun. We danced all night. We laughed. We joked around. We sang all the songs. But the only reason why we didn't get to meet her was because they didn't pay for that package deal. It was really expensive to pay for the VIP package deal. And she was a single mother, so we didn't expect to get to meet her. Just the concert itself was amazing. Behind her was going to be, the next week was going to be NSYNC that was coming, and she used to date Justin Timberlake. So I thought that was really funny. But I liked a few NSYNC songs. I didn't like a lot of NSYNC songs. A lot of people don't know who NSYNC is. This is the boy bands that were growing up. When I was coming up, you had NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. You had, oh my God, was it 90 Degrees? I don't even know. Is that what the group was called? Those are like all the pop stars that we had when I was growing up. You had like Aaron Carter. You had Jesse McCartney. You had Britney Spears. You had Alicia Keys. You had Usher. You had, like I said, NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys. 98 Degrees, I think it is. You had Jessica Simpson, who was married to Nick, whatever his name was. You had, oh my God, who's the other people you had? You had a lot of rock bands. You had Good Charlotte, that was one. You had the Jonas Brothers, of course. I went and saw them in concert. That's another story to tell you guys. You had Pink, of course. You had, so these are like all the people that were big when I was growing up. There was no One Direction. There was no Justin Bieber. There was no Ed Sheeran. There was no Shawn Mendes. There was no Ariana Grande. There was no, oh my God, there was no Grace and Chance. There was no Johnny Orlando. There was no Maddie B. There was no um, Asher Angel. There was no all these different people who are big now. There was no TikTok. There was no Instagram. And there was no Twitter. I mean, the way that you talked to your friends back then was talking to your friends. Like you didn't like kids back then really did not use phones. We really did not. If you wanted to see your best friend, you'd get on the house phone. Well, I guess technically that was our cell phone, our house phone. Because you would be on the phone for like hours and hours and hours. If you were allowed, because it did run up the phone bill. But that was really how you talk to your best friend. You would call them up, talk to them for a few hours a day, especially if they were like out of town and you didn't see them. Or you would email, and you better know how to read, or you would write letters to each other and have like a pen pal, or you'd go down the street and go see your best friend. I was lucky. My best friend lived down the street. So I would see him pretty much every other day or every day because he would fish a lot. So, and we homeschool together. So I saw him a lot with that when we would do field trips and go different places and hang out. And that's how we became best friends. He was older than me by like 4 years or 3 years. Like I'm 31. He's got to be like 36 or something. Because when I was like 15, he was already like in his 20s, like early 20s. Or about to be. No, I think he was in his 20s when I was like 15. I want to see him. I haven't seen him since 2008. That's the last time I saw him. Almost 10 years ago. We're still best friends. I mean, when you've known someone your whole life, basically grew up with them, because when we moved to the farm, I think I was like 4, and that was in the 90s. And we grew up together, literally. We were best friends. We both said it wasn't just one-sided. It was like, no, we're best friends. And you guys would like him. He's really cool. Our friendship was like Sam and Kobe or like Keen and JC. It was like really goofy, but like fun when it needed to be, and then like strict when it needed to be strict. But he lives, I don't know where he lives. But I talked to him like 3 years ago, 4 years ago on Facebook. And it's like no time lost. Like it literally was just like, hey bro, how you been? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm all right. He's like, I miss you. I was like, I miss you too. I was like, next time you come to Florida, let me know. He's like, yeah, definitely. But I haven't talked to him since then. I've had so many Facebooks. That's the problem. I didn't even finish, guys. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like a little kid. I have like 5 left. Like I don't eat breakfast in the morning. That's why like this was a first for me. Like when I tell you guys technically a breakfast mukbang, it's really not a breakfast mukbang. It's really like 12 or lunchtime. Like I can eat at 12 because when I was on my diet, right? My hours that I would eat was, okay, I'd wake up in the morning, okay, take all my medication. Well, some of my medication I had to eat. I had to have something on my stomach. So I would take all my medications, and then I would have, as you guys saw, I would do my egg and meat or something like that, or do a breakfast bowl. And then for lunch, again, because I would eat every 3 hours. So at lunch, I would eat the same thing or something different with broccoli or whatever and cook it. And then that would be under my 6 ounces. And then for dinner, I would have something again. And then at 7:30 was snack time. And it had to be like a jelly, a jello, a yogurt, or a piece of string cheese. So I would do string cheese, and then I was done. After 7 o'clock, I was done until the next morning. And that was how my body would eat a lot of the fat. And it was working. And then I would do it all repeat. And then the week that I would do nothing but liquid diet was the hardest time for me. I hated those weeks. Like at least the first, oh God, I want to say like the first 6 months. No, the first 3 weeks. I'll say it like that. Were so hard for me because I wanted to eat. And I was like, oh, I can't eat. And then the people, like, when I would be around people, they felt so bad for me. I'm like, no, this is my journey. Like, no. They were like, I'm sorry, we're eating this good food in front of you. I'm like, no, it's fine. I just remember, like, when I first started this diet, I remember, was my sister here? I wanted hash and potatoes, and my mom makes the best hash and potatoes. And I wanted some hash and potatoes so bad, like a week before. And the day of like right before I started this diet, my sister made some, and I was like, are you kidding me? I want some so bad. She's like, you can have a little bit. I'm like, no, I can't have any carbs. Like I literally was like determined to lose weight at that day. Like I will never forget. It was July of 2019. I want to say, yeah, or later. It might've been later. It was July of that year because I remember my last junk food meal at that time was Wendy's chicken sandwich with a high C. And I was with Jama and her husband because I have it on YouTube. And that was the last one I ate. And then she was leaving to go to the Philippines. And I literally started my diet. And I already lost 100 and something pounds when I was in the hospital for however long I was in the hospital because I was miserable. And then when I came home, I lost even more weight. And by the time we went to the hospital, I already lost I think it was 180 pounds already. Just because I was so determined to lose the weight. People, it's hard. I get it. I watched 600 Pound Life last night and I felt so sorry for those people, but I get it. I've been where they've been. Not as bad as some of them, but I've been there. But anyways, guys, that's my story. And go get you some Eggos. Eggo my Eggo. Those are commercials from when I grew up. They're still out there. But I don't like the chocolate chip ones. I've tried the chocolate chip ones. I don't like them. It's like weird chocolate chip. Unless they're homemade. I like those. But those were just disgusting. But I like the blueberry. The blueberry is really good. It has a good flavor. But go get you some Eggos. Go get you some of these. A lot of my friends have listened to me and bought them. Like a lot of my fans. My best friend, he tried one. He told me it was good. Supposedly they've been out and I just found them like 2 years ago or a year ago when I was big and overweight. Still feel big and overweight. I still feel that way. But anyways, go get you guys some. I love you guys. Have an awesome Thursday. And I will see you guys later with another video. Maybe I'll do 2 videos a day. Let me know if you guys want 2 videos a day. Comment that below. And stay blessed. Peace. Go get you a waffle. Bye.